Blog Talk Radio.
This is the Wealthy Wednesday radio show with Lucy McMonagle, helping you create a lifestyle and business that you love. Lucy is an intuitive success coach who specializes in assisting and training for lifestyle and business success. As a member of your own university and an associate member of the Women's Speakers Association, she brings over 20 years of serial entrepreneurship, internet business training, and financial training to the table. Lucy is on a mission to empower and inspire holistic entrepreneurs to become wealthier. Let's begin that journey together as we welcome the host of the Wealthy Wednesday radio show, Lucy McMonagle.
Hello and welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday radio show. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle, and I am so grateful that you are here listening today. Our Wealthy Wednesday radio show has a Facebook page, and if you would love to go over there and like our Facebook page, you can go to facebook.com, Wealthy Wednesday Radio. We are here for you, and today we have an amazing expert transformational business coach. Her name is Marissa Loewen, and she is phenomenal. Let me tell you, I've worked with her a little bit, and I am absolutely impressed with her skills, her abilities, and her creative heart. She helps creative entrepreneurs to develop their ideas, turn them into businesses, find the best clients, and make their dreams come true. After 14 years in a career in communications and marketing, she decided to pursue her passions, which is creating things and promoting the simple concept, creativity is big business. Now, she began on the spot pop-up, a local pop-up shop and art installation company that promotes locally made and designed items from clothing to furniture and everything in between. From there, her love of working with creative entrepreneurs grew, and she launched her business coaching in September of 2014. Her expertise is helping creative entrepreneurs break through limiting blocks of self-worth, money manifestation, and self-love, and she also helps setting up businesses from product creation, ideal customer market, to online marketing and branding. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I am so excited that you are on the show. Is there anything that I missed that you would like our audience to know about your expertise?
No, I mean, that you definitely captured it. I'm really honored to be on the show today, and I'm really excited to see where we want to dive into so that we can help people to manifest and bring more wealth into their lives, as well as bring more creativity into their lives.
Absolutely. Now, speaking about creativity, if just in case the audience is not sure, I wanted to give them your website and how to contact you several times on the show.
Sure.
Your website is MarissaloEwen.com, and you have a special gift for our audience today. Am I mistaken?
No, that's definitely correct.
About this free gift and how our audience can get this free gift from you.
Sure. What I find is that when we are looking at our business or even anything in our lives, or if they're making a big decision, that, sometimes we get really locked into the original idea or the original way that we look at it. But there's some kind of shifts that we can use where we look at things in a different mindset or from a different point of view, or just really using creative materials that helps us get out of where we're stuck and moving towards that really brilliant idea. So especially when we talk about creativity, creativity is really, it's all about being, it's unique. It's that unique twist. It's what you bring to the table. So I've developed a really quick PDF that has 5 creative shifts that anyone can use, whether it's deciding, what to paint their house, to, where they're going to launch their business next. And that is available on my website, marissaloewen.com/creative shifts. And that's capital CREATIVE, capital SHIFTS. And the link, I believe, is available also on your radio show page, too. So.
Yes, it is. It is. Some people
cool.
download the podcast, and we also are on iTunes.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to make
sure
that
how exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's so exciting. Now, you work with so many creative entrepreneurs, and a lot of times we have blocks. And what is one of the most common limiting blocks that you've run into, and how do we work through these limitations?
Yeah, I think the most common that I've seen lately is kind of that self-worth, self-value. So when an entrepreneur is deciding, what they should price their products or services at, they often price it really low, especially if they're starting out. And part of that is, they get that mindset that, they're just starting out and they might not have a lot of testimonials going for them or a lot of reviews about their product. And so they price it really low to try and get people in. But one of the dangers of that is that you can actually really undervalue your product. So when a customer or client looks at your pricing, they look at it and say, oh, this is quite low, so the quality or the value might be quite low. And part of that is a block that we face. So part of it is, our experience and, whether we're new on the scene. But it can also stretch back to, our family's stories about, how we view money and how we view, getting paid for our services. There's a few different, backgrounds, but I can see that it's a very common, it's just a self-value, self-worth block.
Wow. And how do you know if you even have a limiting block? I mean, a lot of us, we're so focused on trying to grow that it's kind of like we have blinders on. How do we identify this?
The easiest way to identify, it's kind of funny, is when you keep trying something and it just doesn't work. And it might be just really something simple like, I put out a couple ads and nobody responded. Or it might be that, you think you're being really visible. Visibility is another big block. A lot of people are, especially when they're starting out a business, they don't really want to tell their friends and family because they're worried about judgment. And visibility is, so they kind of put it out here and there, or they'll put it out in areas where they think their family and friends, or maybe even their boss won't see if they're still working in a job. But what that does is it really constricts everything about their business when they're facing that block. So if they put out some ads or they put out some posts on social media and there's no pickup, and they keep doing it the same way, there's a really good chance that there's a block, a limiting block that's happening, that's preventing them to kind of think about what the next step is, what the next creative shift is for them.
Wow. That's so true, and a lot of people that I know that have gone from the corporate world into their own business, they're kind of afraid that the people at the corporate world might find out, or they might be no longer employable, quote unquote, because they're afraid that it's unacceptable for doing a side business or their own business. And, a lot of times it's really a limiting belief. And when they do open up and they start talking to their corporate friends, either, in a present position or a future position, they're finding that they have a lot more acceptance. And
absolutely.
They're like, yeah. So
yeah. I've seen that in family members as well, too. Somebody says, oh, my mom or my dad are just going to be so disappointed in me. I left, my job as a doctor or whatever. I've seen some really high-profile occupations turn to creativity or turn to entrepreneurship, and they're worried about what their family says. And then, I always kind of we can go through some as-if shifts, but, I always say, have you even tried to talk to them? And a lot of times they haven't. There's just that preconceived notion. The other way that you can tell that you have a block is when it doesn't feel like you're starting to feel uncomfortable, or it's almost like your body's going into fight or flight mode. And that's when you can start to feel when that shift is starting to work against you. Is it just whatever is happening feels uncomfortable?
That's a good way to tell. And a lot of times we ignore our bodies giving us signals. Emotional or mental issue that needs to be addressed so that we can move forward and truly be our true authentic self. And the limiting beliefs have really held a lot of phenomenal people back from their great. And now since we're talking about limiting beliefs and finding them and identifying, what is one of the easiest ways to break through a limiting belief, in your opinion?
I really love future self kind of exercises where you take a look at your desired outcome. So if it's bringing in more clients, what would that look like to your business? If it's, even if it's something like making more money, so what would that look like in your life? What would that look like, both from a physical and emotional, spiritual self, where you have, enough money coming in that you can travel when you want, when you can take your family on the vacations that they want. And then I get my clients to really apply that through their whole environment. So, if your future self was already bringing in the money that you wish you had, what does that look like for your family? What does that look like? What does your spouse or your partner, what impact is that in their life? What happens to your children's life? What happens to, even your neighbor or any other, kind of people around you? How does that decision or that result really impact you? And why is it important to you? If making money is something that you really desire, really taking a look and be like, why is it important that I bring in another $10K this month? What is it going to help me do and achieve and bring into the world?
Wow. Now, looking at that as your future self, that really gives you a lot more motivation to really blast through your limiting beliefs. If you can see the end result rather than staring at going through the little tunnel, as some people call it. That's really amazing.
And really solidifying what it means to your everybody in your family too, not just yourself but everybody.
That's very helpful. Yeah, definitely, because a lot of times some of the limiting beliefs are, what if I make so much money that I'm the breadwinner if you're a female, and then how will that make my husband feel if you're married?
Absolutely.
That's a really big one. And a lot of the entrepreneurs that I've spoke with is they're afraid of being the breadwinner after many years of their husband being the main breadwinner. So they kind of put this little etheric throttle on their business, and they try to stop it from going forward.
Yes.
Much money, but they can't quite get over the tipping point, and logically they don't realize that that's actually a limiting belief, and it would benefit both you and your husband if you could really enjoy that trip that you've been looking for, go on a romantic vacation for a week instead of just a weekend, and that's really helpful for breaking through. How would somebody know? Let's say they've been working at this, and they put together their future selves, and they identify how they're going to impact all of their family members or their friends or the people close to them. How do they know when they've actually broken through one of those barriers?
That's a great question, Lucy. It's actually one of the big ones I ask my client when, they want to break through a limiting block or a limiting belief is I actually ask them, how will you know that you've done that? And it allows them to really feel into it as well. But, one of the most common results that I see is that they get what they want. They make the money. They find new clients, or, not even they find clients. Clients and customers find them. And I think that's really important is once you break through that limiting belief or block, like you said, it really helps you come into your authentic self. And once you're in your authentic self and everything's in alignment, that's when people just start, being drawn to you. And, they'll say, I don't even know where I found you. Someone referred to me because your energy is so amazing. And I just really am drawn to work with you. And once you start hearing those, you kind of know that you've worked out your alignment issues and you're really on the right track and you're being authentic for yourself and for everyone around you.
Wow. Yeah, that's so true. It is to be able to do that. And I'm going to ask one more question, and then we're going to go on a commercial break to honor our sponsors to make sure that we can take care of that. So let's say the person has already broken through their limiting beliefs, and now they're on the other side, and already come through, but they want to make more money right now. So what are some of the things that people what are some of the ways that people can manifest the money that they need right this moment?
Yeah, one of my favorite exercises is actually by Mike Dooley. He runs Notes from the Universe and has a book called Leveraging the Universe, which is just fantastic. He has a great exercise where you take a triangle and you split it down the middle. And the one side of the triangle is what you're willing to commit for whatever goal you're trying to achieve. And then the other side is what you want the universe to come to the table. And one of the biggest things is we don't focus on the how. So if we're looking to bring in, $10,000 within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we don't want to say to the universe, I want to win the lottery, or I want another contract to come in, because the universe has so many gears to shift and put into focus for us, and the universe has figured that out. And so we take ourselves out of what he calls the cursed house. And so on the one side of the triangle where we're going to write what we want to do. So for example, if I'm thinking about bringing in an extra $10K by the end of this month, things that I'm going to do is I'm going to offer out my coaching services, but in order to do that, I need to create some ads, or I need to create maybe a really great offer that people can take advantage of, or maybe I just need to be more visible. I need to do more videos or do more radio shows even, That's my contribution. And I also want to say that I always invite people to put self-care down there. So really taking the time to reflect, get massages, get the manicure, have a nap in the afternoon if you really need it. Like, allow yourself that recuperating time. And on the other side, where the universe comes into play, is that what can they do to help? What can the universe do to help? So is it bringing the right people who can help you achieve this goal? Is it allowing opportunities to come your way to become more visible? So it's not necessarily going into really specific hows, like landing a speaking gig on a big stage, but maybe it's allowing more speaking opportunities to come your way in the next few weeks so that you can, increase your exposure and your visibility. And I have found that triangle, and I've worked on these with clients, and the triangle works incredibly fast. Once you get really clear on the date that you need that by and what that money is going to go to, the universe that just gives you like a big high five, and it's amazing the miracle money manifestations that I've seen occur.
Wow. And just in case our audience missed that, what is the name of the book and the author?
It's Leveraging the Universe by Mike Dooley. He also has a website. It's tuts.com, where you can actually get that triangle exercise and Notes from the Universe. He puts it all out for free. So it's Mike Dooley, and Booley. Yeah.
Wow. Now that's a phenomenal resource for anybody, not just entrepreneurs listening to that. Well, we're going to take a short commercial break, and then we will be right back.
Be you to the fullest. That's beautiful. And it is the secret to living your life on purpose. But so many people suffer not knowing who they are and what they are here for because of the ongoing influences shooting all over us. Are you ready to break free, take back your power, and discover exactly what makes you, you? Your Own University is the #1 online self-awareness community, here to help you confidently know yourself and step into your ideal life. Our directory is full of highly qualified personal coaches that have helped over 100,000 women from all over the world transform their lives inside and out. Come fall in love with yourself and discover true fulfillment at yourownuniversity.com.
I felt out of control. I hated the fact that when my husband would kiss me, my body would shudder. I'd feel so guilty and wanted to run away. I knew it wasn't my husband's fault or even my own, but the pain of my childhood abuse was still controlling my life. Until I found Antica and the Divine in 9 program. Now, I am free. The flashbacks are gone. They have vanished. My marriage is so much more fun, and I know the brighter side of life. I never thought I could feel this good about being me. If you are a woman like me who survived abuse and you're ready to stop fighting and start living, don't wait any longer. Register right now at www.divinein9.com.
Welcome back to the Wealthy Wednesday radio show. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle, and I am so excited that you are still with us. We have a phenomenal guest, Marissa Loewen, and she is from MarissaLoewen.com. You can also find her on Facebook and Instagram under Marissa Loewen. And welcome back, Marissa.
Thank you.
So earlier we were talking about ways that people can quickly manifest money in their life using this incredible triangle system that you receive from Notes from the Universe. Now, what are some of the ways that, or how quickly can people expect to manifest the money that they need by using the techniques that you were talking about right before the commercial break?
You know, it really depends on their own intention and how much they leave it up to the universe. So, you know, one of the things is we don't want to be very vague. We don't want to say, you know, I want to attract 10K in the next little while, because the universe is like, well, what's the next little while? They could take, you know, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. You know, you want to be really specific about what you need that money for. So there's always with money manifestation, it's really about creating a balance. So you have a deficit in one area and you need the energy from money to, or whatever you're manifesting, to cover that deficit. So once you kind of align with that, you know, the universe really delivers. I had an experience in my own life. I actually asked for the wrong thing. I really wanted to attract 5 clients into my business, but instead I said, you know, I want to attract the amount of money that 5 clients paying a package would bring in. And so I got the money, but I didn't have the clients. So I left it up to the universe to say, you know, okay, you want money, here you go. And it's going to come in, you know, expected and unexpected ways. But not one of them was through a coaching client, ironically. So I really got clear on to what I really wanted. So in that case, I wanted to work with 5, you know, ambitious, outstanding, awesome entrepreneurs, creative entrepreneurs who are ready to take their business to the next level. Once I got really clear on that and put that into my triangle, they came into my universe about 6 days after that. And I actually was very specific. I said by the end of the month, and they showed up.
Wow. Well, it's really important to be very specific. And, you know, for me, I've had similar experiences with money manifestation, and I kind of like the unexpected ways that money flows by using the different manifestation techniques.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, wow, that wasn't hard for me. That was actually
right.
easy. And, you know, your life really flows with ease and with grace when you get into the rhythm of being able to trust and being able to really strongly, and being specific is important. Now, for some of the people who, let's say they're trying to manifest starting a business, what are some of the best resources for anybody that would be starting a new business or has an existing business that they want to grow?
So, I mean, one of the best things, I mean, when you're talking about manifesting a new business, I mean, really that is, you're not necessarily manifesting a new business unless you want something, you know, a business opportunity to fall into your lap. But that might be. But if you're trying to grow a business, you know, things that really focus, like I said, on the clarity of the goals that you want to achieve. So is it, you know, reaching a certain money, you know, income level? Is it really bringing in certain clients or customers? Is it selling so many numbers of your products? You know, not only is this just, I mean, this is like business 101, and it's funny when we learned, before I really kind of learned about manifestation and bringing abundance into my life, these were the analytics that we learned in business school. Like in marketing and PR is all about statistics and analytics. So being able to be really clear on your goals and objectives that you're working towards is going to help you also celebrate when those wins happen. And it's going to help you really bring in, the abundance and all of the great things in your life and in your business.
Wow. Yeah, that's really important. Is there any particular resources that you suggest to your clients or you suggest to anyone starting? Where would they find out or other information?
Yeah. Not to toot my own horn, but I actually saw that there was a deficit in really helping people walk through the steps. So I actually created a free 30-day email. It's basically that each day for 30 days it sends you a next step in building your business. What I found is that people just, needed almost like a checklist and a little bit of resources and leaders and who to go to help keep them out of overwhelm and help keep them going, okay, what's my next step? So I created that resource, and it's available on my website for anyone to download. It's free. It's 30 days. There's no obligation. It's a mix of, like emails and videos and tools and worksheets, and it really helps you just set up everything from product or package creation to your ideal client to setting up your website, search engine optimization, online marketing, and really everything that you need.
Wow, and they can get that at your website, which is Marissaloewen.com.
Yes, it is.
Excellent. And I would highly, highly recommend that to anybody who's looking to start a business or wants to have a little checklist for their current business so that they can see if they're missing something. Now, what are that's really good. What are some of the very first steps that someone should focus on to get on the right track? I mean, how do they even know they're on the right track?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing is looking at why you're doing this and why you're starting a new business. It's entrepreneurship and starting your own business and maintaining your own business is not for everyone. I mean, there is some appeal to it, but it is really, it's something that you have to stick with. And when things happen, like what other people look as setbacks, I honestly have started looking at them as like, opportunities for growth and leveraging. And you have to be able to look at everything in your business that way. The setbacks can take you back and hold you back. So really just making sure that you've got that mindset in place, that you're ready. You're ready for, the ups and the downs and being able to use the downs as opportunities for growth for your business. But the next step is really getting clear on, who you're serving. So, what clients do you want to attract? What do they need? What kind of products and packages do they need from you, and what can you offer? And from there, it just kind of starts going into, setting up the systems. I'm a big, big fan of setting up automated systems to help you deliver great service for your clients and allows you, to take yourself out of a lot of that emailing and responses. Being able to set up those processes probably right from the very beginning of your business is crucial.
I have to agree with that. That is extremely crucial, is setting up the systems and getting them in place. A lot of the entrepreneurs that I have met, they're not sure what systems to set up. They're confused, and there's so much information on the internet. It's overwhelming. How would they be able to look at like the first couple of steps or the first couple of systems that they would need for their particular business? Is there a little trick that people can look at and in their business and figure it out?
It really depends on, what their focus is. So if they've got a product, whether they are serving people with services or products, I do always recommend an online presence. So right now, the first thing that a client or customer does is they go to Google and if they're not researching your reviews, they're looking for who can actually provide them for that service. So it's really important to have some sort of online presence that people can find you. Now, whether that is, just a landing page or it's, a full-on website, that's really what's going to be right for your business. When I advise people who have a product that they're selling is to take a look at, systems that allow them to get set up really quickly and easily without a lot of frustration. So things like if they're making products, it's Etsy and Shopify. There's a couple, different online stores that designers can use to put their designs on clothing. Being able to leverage those systems that are already in place is also a really good learning opportunity. So you can see how they do it. And then when you get to the point where your growth is so big that you want to handle all that fulfillment and the online shopping cart yourself, then you can see how they did it and then adapt it to how it works for you. If it's a client, one thing I say is always an email service, making sure you have like MailChimp or Aweber, or, I use a product called Simplero. It's more of a robust customer management tool, so I can really, create online courses and I can create drip email content. All of that is really important, but you don't have to start big. You really don't. I mean, having a MailChimp free account to get started and start mailing your customers and having that ongoing relationship is crucial. The other thing I recommend that they look at is, how do people pay you? It's something that we often forget, or they often just assume that PayPal is kind of the de facto, but there's so many options out there like Square Up and PayPal and Stripe. Making sure that people can give you money is like the first thing of business.
That's very important, and I have met several entrepreneurs that the only way they accepted money was cash only. And that really was stifling their business in a huge sense. So that's definitely something very, very important is how can people pay you, and do you accept credit cards through a system like Square Up or through PayPal, or do you have a merchant's account if you have higher ticket items and stuff like that. So let's say a person is set up and they've done the first steps of their business. They started their email system. They have some of the resources, and now they are focusing on their ideal client. How do they find their ideal client?
Part of it is getting to know them. So you might have heard things like niche marketing and really drilling down, but I actually don't believe in so much the, a woman age 35 to 45 is your niche market. I like to look more at their mindset. So what I often ask my clients when we first started looking at our audience is, what's the life event that just happened, that just occurred, that made that person search you out? If you're a coach and you're dealing with relationships, was there a fight that particularly happened, or was there a shift in the relationship that's caused them to search out a relationship coach or a divorce coach? Taking a look and really getting into that mindset and figuring out what's happening. For people who are producing products, it's really exciting because you can say, like, for birthday or Christmas or, any kind of gift-giving opportunity, but as well as, like, the big life events. Like, there's a wedding coming up. So, these are products that are specific for your wedding. Once you get into the shoes and the mindset and the reasons that your ideal client is in, everything else just sort of flows naturally. You start to develop your marketing geared to them. You even, the patterns that you choose for your products, or even the style of your website really just starts to evolve so that you are speaking directly to them.
Wow, yeah, and that's really important is that your particular style evolves so that you're speaking directly to your clients and being able to really identify who they are and what do they need, what are their needs, and how can your company or your services or your products fulfill those needs so that they can find you. We're going to take a short commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
The It's Your Turn radio show with Denise Dominguez is on every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Join Denise Dominguez, an empowerment and relationship coach, as she invites experts on for interviews and how they help women with their knowledge and expertise to break through that stuck space you're in. You'll learn tools and techniques to move forward in life with confidence and clarity that Denise will share with you. Listen every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern by going to blogtalkradio.com/yourownuniversityradio.com. The It's Your Turn radio show with Denise Dominguez.
From the best-selling author of From Bondage to Happiness, Antika Lisha will personally walk you through her new program featuring her Radical Forgiveness Freedom Formula. This is for you if you are ready to once and for all be released from the chains of past abuse and take your power back. Radical Forgiveness is a 5-week step-by-step system to release the chains of a traumatic past, trapping in fear, reactivity, and stress, and gently free you, allowing you to take your power back and claim your beautiful life. Get instant access to your first video and a free 60-minute discovery session with Antika herself, a $250 value, at antikalibby.com/radicalforgiveness.
Experiencing a financial glass ceiling? Lucy McMonagle is a money manifestor coach, and it's her passion to educate others how to manifest more money. Grab her free gift, Make Money Now, at lucymcmonagle.com. That's LucyMcMonagle.com.
Join Lucy McMonagle, host of the Wealthy Wednesday radio show, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Listen to excellent entrepreneurs as they reveal some of the tips and tricks they use to better their personal and business lives. To listen, visit blogtalkradio.com/yourownuniversityradio. The Wealthy Wednesday radio show. Check in with your intuition.
Welcome back to the Wealthy Wednesday radio show. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle, and I am so grateful you're here listening. Today we have a phenomenal transformational business coach, Marissa Loewen, and she has some incredible free gifts for you on her website at Marissaloewen.com. You can get her 30-day Build a Business free program at her main site, and if you add creative shifts at the end of her MarissaLoewen.com, you'll also be able to get a second free gift. She is quite amazing, and I am excited to have her back onto the show. Welcome back, Marissa.
Do you have a light?
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I am so excited. Now, we were talking about the ideal clients, and we were also discussing, what are the first steps that someone should focus on to get themselves on the right track for their business. Can you elaborate a little bit more on some of the resources, the first track, and how do they put this together to create a price point or for creating their packages?
Mm-hmm. Oh, from their ideal client, you mean?
Right. Well, from their ideal clients, or how their services are fulfilling their ideal clients' needs or desires, and how do they put that together to create a package and to price the packages?
Yeah, we always start from where they love the most. So when you're an entrepreneur, you don't want to be doing things every day that you don't love. So when you think about what you're offering from a product or a service, start from there. Start from what you would love to offer, every day to clients and customers. And that's really going to be the start of your package. Then you're going to move into customizing what that looks like based on your customer or client's needs. So, for example, if I am setting up a coaching package, I'm going to look at what goals or what benefits my particular client needs in order to achieve those, and then I'm going to fit those in, and I'm going to fit them in with confidence and I'm going to infuse every time I create my package or create elements of my package, I really infuse the success that my client is going to achieve out of it.
Excellent. And how would they identify? Now, you specified earlier that we really need to work on providing clarity within our businesses and with our manifestations, and that also helps us break through the limiting beliefs that we have. How do you get more clear on what exactly your needs, your clients' needs are? I mean, if you're a little off, if you're just starting out.
Yeah, it's really, you don't have to be extremely specific, but, if I'm looking at working with clients who really want to up-level how much money they're bringing in with their business, what I want to do is I want to include worksheets and packages that really help them zone in. And while I'm creating those worksheets and packages, and even while I am, writing that text out on my website, I think of my ideal client that is going to be coming to me. I think about what's going on in his or her life that has brought him or her to my website looking for answers, and I think like that, again, it's that future self. It's being able to see them breaking through the block, really achieving what, their goals are, and being able to manifest that abundance that they desire. So I think of like kind of a little bit of a fictional character of who I love to work with and what's going on in their life and what their family looks like and what their activities look like and what their business might look like. And then I think about the celebrations that happen after they manifest their goals. And as I'm building that worksheet, as I'm putting that web content in, as I'm building those blog posts, I think about that fictional client that I want to come to me. And I'm building that for them. So I'm not building worksheets that are for, trying to think of something, like Twitter worksheets or something, because I'm not working in social media with them. I might help them get on social media or figure out which social media is the best for their business, but I'm not necessarily building a worksheet to help them build their Twitter content. I'm working on worksheets that really help them dive deep into their value and their self-worth, because that's what they're coming to me for. And those are the clients that I really want to work with.
So you want to work with clients that really value you and they have a vision and a mission?
Yeah, that's part of it. I mean, it's also like, I've had people that come to me that like, oh, I only attract people who want free things. And, one of the things I say is, well, what are your values and beliefs around getting things for free? I mean, go look at your inbox. How many free ebooks, how many free webinars have you signed up for? And that's, that's what's on your mind. So that's your mindset. So what can you build? What kind of package can you build that really speaks to people who are willing to invest in their business? What kind of products do you need to put out? I have a client who does do social media, like virtual assistant social media. So for her, building her products and services, she's looking at people who are, entrepreneurs who are at a certain level in their business that they need to invest in help. And they value building an incredible team. So they know that they've got to put the money in to really get the team that's going to give them the results they desire. So when she's building, her packages for social media, all she does is she thinks about those clients, those potential clients that are coming, that are going to embrace her packages and rates, who are going to value her, who are going to, use her in a way that she loves what she does.
Yeah, and that's really, really important is having your clients really love what you do and valuing what you do and being willing to pay their worth for you. Because a lot of entrepreneurs, when they start out, they try to do everything themselves. And, some things they just are, they're not very good at. And they know they're not very good at it. And they really get frustrated. Like, let's say their forte is not creating blog posts, but they know they have to keep blog posts going. They know that they have to have some type of information for their clients. How does somebody, if they're just starting out, how do they get through the limiting belief system that they can't afford somebody else to do something such as that?
Yeah, I mean, you have to really take a look at yourself and do some self-reflection. If you're exhausted, if you are trying to keep up and you're not delivering good, customer service in other areas because you're so busy trying to do your social media or do your Facebook advertising, that's one wake-up call. The other is taking a look at actually how much money you'll be bringing in. So if you're putting out Facebook ads and they're not getting the results you desire or no results at all, hiring someone who's an expert, who knows keywords, who knows, who's able to really drill down to your client and what your client needs, and where your client is visiting, that alone is such an investment, and you get such a return. So, I mean, it really makes a difference to me is whether I want to build my business so that not only does it not exhaust me, but it also brings in more money. And I also think of the thought that, like, when my cup is full, I can fill others' cup. So the ability that my practice, my business, is so full and so successful that I'm able to share this experience and share, the rewards, the abundance that I'm feeling with people that I want to work with and grow their skills and grow their experience. That's such a phenomenal feeling in the world, to build a team, for everybody to be working towards, a common goal, to be able to share in that, to be able to pay them, an excellent wage. Think about when you get paid, your full package price or your products, fly off out of your store. How does that feel? Well, imagine being able to give that gift to someone else who's also building their business.
That's a really good insight, and it's really important to look at that as a gift to give to somebody else that's also providing their skills and services to you. And, a lot of resources that some entrepreneurs can use. What are some of the resources that you would suggest on how would an entrepreneur or somebody who's going to decide to hire somebody, how do they find these people to hire? Or do you have a resource?
I mean, it depends. I always I have few people that I've worked with, and so I will recommend them. But I do recommend reviews. Ask your peers, ask who in the business you respect, who they work with. And I mean, Google is okay. I mean, Google, you'll be able to find people out there. But sometimes just finding, like, if you really like a web design from somebody, ask them who did it. Ask them where they got it. Reach out to them. You're not copying them. You're looking for someone who has the skills that brings your vision to life. I also recommend, there's a lot of entrepreneur Facebook groups. You can go in and ask who they recommend. Always look at 2 or 3 people. When we look at, like, photographers, you can kind of see their portfolio, but you might want to talk to their clients and find out how the experience of the day was. Same with a web designer. Being able, you can see kind of their portfolio, but really knowing how they value client relations and how they respond and how easy it is to get that work done. That is so important to an entrepreneur. We don't have time to waste on people who don't have good customer service or who don't value client interaction. So these are things that you want to ask about. What was the experience like? How long did it take to get my product? What was the communication like? Did I hear from them during the process of creating something? What were your results like? If somebody is building you a landing page or building you a website, you want to hear what are the conversions that happen? What are, the type of clients that you attracted? Was it your ideal client that you were attracting? Copywriting is a really good service, to look out for, but it can be tricky because copywriters come in all shapes and forms. And I had a copywriter I was looking at working with once, and she said to me, well, whose voice do you really like? What are some websites that have great content? And I said, I can't work with you. And she said, why? And I said, well, really, I like my voice. And what I'm looking for in a copywriter is someone who can help, bring my voice to life without all of the work that I need to put into it. So I'm looking for someone who can really tie into my vision and bring my voice to life, not copy someone else's. And so that's really important to me. That ties into my values. It ties into, what I want out of my business.
And that's a really important question that a lot of entrepreneurs would never even think about not saying. If a copywriter asks you whose voices do you like, then your website or your copywriting looks like other people's stuff. And then it doesn't bring out your true energy, your true authenticness, if they're not speaking in your voice. And that's
absolutely
one of the most key things. We have just about 10 more minutes left for the show, and I wanted to ask, is there other tidbits of information that you would like to leave with our clients, or, is there anything, like that really makes your heart sing, that you can help other people find what makes their heart sing?
Mhm. I do operate under the simple motto that creativity is big business, and there's two sides of it. One is that I believe that it's an artist's responsibility or a designer's responsibility to charge what they're worth, charge what their skill is, their value is, and that helps clients and customers really appreciate art and design and services a lot more. But the other side of creativity being big business is what creativity actually means to us. So if someone says to me, I'm not creative, the first thing I want to do is try and change their mindset of what creativity is. It isn't glue sticks. It isn't adding sparkles to things. It's really about going past what we call the competitive brain. So when you're building a business, you're looking at what everybody else is doing. You're looking at, well, he or she did that way, and I maybe I'd like to copy that and do that. And competition's really good. It helps us kind of move our business forward faster. But what creativity does is it really allows us to take those ideas and make them unique to us. And just like the copywriting being in your own voice, that's where your creative intuition really comes into play and really propels your business out further and farther. So, think about how creativity in your business helps you get ahead, and where, you could actually infuse more creativity even into everyday processes like customer service and emails and newsletters. Where can you get just a little bit more creative so that you're speaking to your ideal client a little bit more, or whether you're building better packages, or whether you're actually charging more? How is that creativity really being infused into that?
That's really important. And a lot of entrepreneurs, they do honestly believe that they're not creative because, maybe they don't do arts and crafts kind of things. But, a writer is extremely creative, or putting together a business is a creative process, whether a person realizes it or not. And like you were mentioning earlier with the triangle, I believe you could use methods like that for creativity and to move forward. Now, your free gift, Creative Shift, that helps people look at becoming more creative.
Yep.
And
it just takes different ways of looking. Yeah.
It takes different ways to...
Oh, sorry, I think I cut out. It takes different ways of looking at a problem. So if you've been looking at it in one way, a good example, you could be like an accountant, right? You're an accountant for other entrepreneurs, and you think, well, how can I be more creative in my business? Well, the creative shift will help you kind of take a look at, okay, well, maybe I need to make my packages and offerings, or maybe I need to add a new service that would really propel my clients ahead in their business. So being just that creative, being able to look at it from different directions, adding creativity into it, being able to play is really important.
That's extremely important, being able to play. And, I find that when I actually schedule my play time, I am more productive and I get more things done. And
that's awesome.
That's one of the most important things that I found for my business is to have more fun, because when I first started, I was so serious. I think I scared people. In fact, I knew I scared people because I was too serious. They thought they would have to be serious. And scheduling in that fun time, that creativity, helps you move forward. Your free gift, just in case anybody just caught the radio show at the tail end, is Creative Shifts, and they can find that at your website, which is MarissaloEwen.com/creative shifts. And they can also find you on Facebook and Instagram through the Marissa Loewen, And on Twitter, you have your Twitter handle is STUPORSTAR. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Fabulous. Is there anything else that you would like our audience to know before we wrap up the radio show?
No, I just hope they have a lot of fun planning their business, and I can't wait to hear of all the amazing things that people are creating and putting out into the world. So congratulations on being entrepreneurs. Fabulous.
Well, thank you for listening to the Wealthy Wednesday radio show. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle, and until next time, we'll see you later.
Thanks for listening to the Wealthy Wednesday radio show with Lucy McMonagle every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Join us next time for more in the way of expert interviews with excellent guests and entrepreneurship and business tips that'll help you better your personal and business life. For excellent resources and to personally contact Lucy McMonagle, visit LucyMcMonagle.com. Until next time, so long, everybody.